Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, what I want to do in this short little West Pocket video is introduce the new resonance, Chronometre resonance from FP Journe. I have my own FP resonance of one of the earlier versions, and this new version is everything. You can see right there the difference is not quite as clear as it is inside. And I'll be talking about that in a second. But the one on the left is from 2000. And that was the first ones they made. And it was a subscription. And I think they only made about 20 of them and sold them out. The second ones that they made was the Ruthenium series from between 201 and 20,001 and 20,002. This is mine. This is the one I have. And they called them the Ruthenium series because instead of having the gold on the back, they had ruthenium. Okay, I'm probably saying it terribly wrong. I'm sorry. Then in 2005, they added the gold plates and bridges on the back. Now there was a gap. That's they list the Ruthenium series from 2001 to 2002, and then they jump to 2005. I don't know whether 2003 and 2004. I don't know if they made any then because they're not mentioned as being in production during the time. Maybe they didn't sell them, and then they did. Well, anyway, so in 2005 they added gold to them, and that was the next series. And then in 2010 they added the 24-hour one, and that I think I call it the parking meter version because it looks like one of the ones with the 24 hours looks like a parking meter, but that's me. That's not anybody else. And then in last year, in 2019, they had a really interesting one. I said, look, we're only going to make this for 1 year. I thought, wow, that's interesting. And they made a really neat one. They went back to look like the original one, except the dial on the left is 24 hours, analogic 24 hours. The new 2020 Chronometre resonance is totally changed in many different ways. First of all, it has a single mainspring instead of double mainsprings like mine has. It still has two complete wheel trains, two balances, and two escapements. And that part is pretty much the same, except it has that single barrel, and it has a differential that distributes the power from the mainspring. In addition, they've moved one of the crowns. Here, this is sort of hard to see. This is actually upside down. At 4 o'clock, there's a little puller pusher, I guess, and it synchronizes both the second hands, and so they go to the 12 o'clock position as soon as you pop it out. The winding crown is up here, and in order to wind and set mine, what I have to do is that I have to take off one of the straps, and then I wind it up and set it and so forth and put it back on. They put the on this new one, they put the winding crown and setting crown at about 2 o'clock. Really a good idea. Also, the power reserve indicator, instead of having this big one, they have a little one right at the top. But the other huge thing they put in, notice it says at the top, remontoise d'égalité, rather than saying remontoire. They have two of them. These, what they are, they're each of the secondary gear trains is equipped with a remontoire d'égalité, and it has a frequency of 1 second. So every 6 semi-oscillations, it resets. And the idea behind a remontoir d'égalité is that you'll have a constant pressure as opposed to one that wanes as the power wanes with it. And I think this is one of the ways they were able to use a single mainspring with it. The way it works is really interesting. Let me read this that they had. It says, whereas an external disturbance affects the running of a traditional mechanical watch, the same disturbance for a chronometre or resonance produces an effect that accelerates one of the balances as much as it slows down the other. Little by little, the two balances come back towards each other to find their point of harmony, thus eliminating the disturbance and beating in perfect synchronization. The last one, or the last image I wanted to show you, is this beautiful workmanship on the new one. The old one has beautiful workmanship too, but this one with all of the extra things, with the remontoirs, with the working with the differential with a single big mainspring. This new one is really a treat, and if you have the platinum one is $135,000, which is out of my budget. If I tried to buy this one today, it would have been out of my budget. I've had it for a few years and got a good buy on it, and I'm keeping it. Anyhow, I'd like to hear what you think about this new wonderful FP Journe watch, and so put down a comment, and as always, this is an invitation to subscribe if you like, and until next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Outside, the Art and Science of Watch Collection.